So this is a little bit of a fanboy video about Xero shoes. My name's Howard Jacobson. I'm a friend of Steven Sashen's. He sent me a pair of the latest actual shoes from Xero Shoes, but I want to talk a little bit about sort of my history with them. So when I read Born to Run, I can't remember, maybe 5 years ago, I knew I wanted to run barefoot, but barefoot seemed like too much, so I got a pair of those 5-fingered deals. And they were like bright blue, and people were staring at them, and I was way ahead of my time. And I also found that they stunk like crazy, and they took a really long time to put on, and they were kind of a mess. So when I found out from Steven that he was actually making the Tarahumara sandals, just like they were wearing in Mexico, I got a pair. And it was the first kit where you had to kind of cut it out yourself, and I had to find a leather punch to put a hole in the sole, so then I had to figure out how to tie it. And I wore those all through my year in South Africa. I ran a 23K race in them, and all these little kids were screaming, he's wearing slippers, or flip-flops, or whatever. They were saying it in Zulu, so I didn't quite catch it. But then, and I found that because it had that post, here it's this type here, it had the post that for really long distances I would find a little bit of irritation here. And so then I got this pair when I went out to Boulder and saw Steven, and this was much more comfortable. It wasn't the nylon strap or whatever that is, but it was rubber. And I've worn these for many runs, hundreds and hundreds of miles, and you can see the soles have absolutely no wear on them whatsoever. I'm not sure what kind of material they're using, but honestly, I never liked the post between the big and second toe. I never owned flip-flops, so that's just something a little idiosyncratic. So then Steven sent me these Trek. I can't remember all the names of the style. Sorry, Steven. But these are fantastic. You can see you just sort of slide your foot in here. These have a little bit more wear and tear on them on the bottom, but that's because for the last 3 months I was training for a 50K. I ran the 50K in these sandals, complete 100%. I had another pair of shoes, my old New Balance Minimus, in my drop bag at mile 16, and I didn't even think about putting them on because these were so comfortable. It was cold in the morning, so I wore the Injinji like 5-finger socks and these, so like huge fashion faux pas, but I had a really good run, and at age 51 I came in at under 10-minute miles, and that was my first ultra, and so these were awesome. So then a couple weeks ago Steven sends this new shoes, and they're actually shoes. So the first thing we have to notice is they're friggin' gorgeous. So they came out of the box, and first thing is I had to fight to get them because my son, who's almost 17, has feet the same size as mine, about men's 12. So like, oh, those are beautiful, I want those. Now my son is very picky, as 17-year-old males can be. He doesn't like a lot of stuff. He doesn't approve of a lot of stuff. But he thought these were just gorgeous right out of the box. So there's not much to say about them except they're sort of actually shoes. You can wear them. I guess I wouldn't wear them to a wedding or a funeral necessarily, but sort of everyday wear. They're perfectly acceptable. They're also basically just the running sandals with a top on them, sort of like convertible. So you can see they're really, really bendy. They're very, very thin, and here's the thing, there's not a lot of give in the size. Like some shoes you can, sneakers especially, you can kind of lace them loose or tight. These are pretty much set. So they either kind of fit or they don't. There's not a lot of wiggle room in there, but they're really, really comfortable. They feel just like sandals. I feel like if I needed to and I was wearing these, I could run 50 miles and be as comfortable as I would be in anything else. And hats off. So I hear that you guys are working on like colder weather shoes, like like sort of dressy shoes, and I can't wait because since I've been wearing these or going barefoot as my predominant modes of bipedal locomotion, I've been injury free, I've been feeling great, and my times are getting better and better. So thanks Stephen, thanks Lena, thanks Xero Shoes. Be well.